Sinister Stories.
On a crisp autumn morning, Charlotte strode into Whitman's Wheels. Her eyes scanned the array of vehicles, each with its own history etched in the gleam of paint or the slight rust on worn edges. She was drawn to a vintage Mustang, a sleek relic of bygone days, its crimson hue shimmering under the morning sun. As she approached, a figure emerged from the shadows, a man in a faded polo shirt with a warm smile that mirrored the glint in his eyes. "Morning, miss. Fine choice you've got there. That Mustang's got stories to tell," the man remarked, extending his hand. "I'm Sam Whitman." Charlotte returned the smile and shook his hand firmly. "Charlotte, I'm in the market for a car with character." "Character, huh? Well, this one's got it in spades," Sam chuckled. He led her to the Mustang, recounting tales of its previous owners' adventures and mishaps that had become woven into the fabric of the car's legacy. Charlotte listened, enchanted by the nostalgia and history that surrounded the vehicle, although some tales were purposely forgotten. Sam tossed her the keys. "Give her a spin. You'll feel the road whispering its stories." As Charlotte slid behind the wheel, the engine purred to life like a slumbering lion awakened. The Mustang roared down the country roads, taking her on a journey through time and imagination. Wind danced through her hair, carrying echoes of laughter and whispered secrets of the past. Returning to the dealership, Charlotte wore a grin that betrayed her growing fondness for the vintage machine. "She's a beauty," she admitted to Sam, who nodded knowingly. "Indeed she is. But a car's more than just metal and wheels. It's the memories it collects, the roads it traverses, and the dreams it carries. That Mustang's waiting for someone to give it a new chapter," Sam remarked, his eyes fixed on the horizon. Charlotte pondered his words as she stood beside the car, envisioning the adventures yet to come. Negotiations ensued, papers were signed, and keys exchanged hands. The Mustang was now hers, a vessel for new stories waiting to be written. In the weeks that followed, Charlotte and her Mustang became inseparable companions. They cruised along scenic routes, the engine humming in harmony with the melodies on the radio. Each journey felt like turning the pages of a beloved novel, discovering new plots and chapters with every mile. However, a car with history wasn't without its quirks. The Mustang's character revealed itself in occasional hiccups, sputtering engines, and mysterious rattles. But Charlotte embraced them as part of the charm. As the days turned into nights, peculiar occurrences began to unravel. The Mustang seemed to harbor a mysterious energy, a spectral aura that tingled in the air whenever Charlotte took to the roads. Shadows danced just beyond the headlights' reach, fleeting images that whispered tales of sorrow and misfortune. On one eerie night, Charlotte found herself stranded in the heart of the forest, the Mustang's engine stuttering, an ominous precursor to the haunting history veiled within its crimson exterior. Fumbling for her phone, she discovered the signal vanished, leaving her isolated in the darkness. Desperation gnawed at her as she gazed out into the pitch-black expanse surrounding the car. A sense of foreboding settled upon her shoulders, the night alive with the echoes of past tragedies. As she attempted to restart the engine, the radio crackled to life, emitting chilling whispers that spoke of forgotten woes. Suddenly, Charlotte's eye closed and her mind was transported back in time. She suddenly gazed as if watching a story unfold about a girl named Lindy. Lindy was a spirited young woman with an undeniable love for her vintage Mustang. It was more than a car to her. It was an extension of her adventurous spirit, a metallic manifestation of her freedom. Lindy and her Mustang were inseparable, cruising along winding roads and bustling highways, exploring every corner of the town. One fateful evening, as Lindy navigated a quiet suburban street, a sudden jolt shattered the tranquility. A minor accident, just a bump, yet it was a collision that would shatter Lindy's world. The other driver, a shadowy figure with a chilling intensity in his eyes, stepped out of his car. A palpable malevolence emanated from him, chilling Lindy's bones. His twisted smirk spoke volumes of sinister intentions that sent shivers down her spine. "Look what you've done, you shouldn't have been on this road," he hissed, his voice dripping with venomous intent. "Now I'll see you wherever you go." A sense of unease gnawed at Lindy as she attempted to exchange information, but the man's unsettling presence made her heart race. His eyes bore into her soul, and a sense of impending doom lingered in the air. From that moment, Lindy's once beloved Mustang became a source of terror. Wherever she drove, she felt the malevolent gaze of the sociopath following her. His car seemed to appear out of nowhere, tailing her every move, lurking in the shadows of her rearview mirror. The Mustang, once a symbol of freedom, now felt like a prison on wheels. Lindy's nerves frayed with each passing day, her fear escalating into a paralyzing terror. No matter where she sought refuge, the psychopath's presence loomed, a menacing specter haunting her every mile. Sleepless nights plagued Lindy as she tried to evade the relentless stalker, seeking solace in her Mustang's familiar embrace, only to find it suffocating her with its association to the terrifying ordeal. Her friends dismissed her fears as paranoia, but Lindy knew the truth. She was being hunted by a psychopath who'd marked her as his prey. One chilling night, as Lindy drove along a desolate stretch of road, the mysterious man's car materialized in front of her, blocking the path. Panic surged within her as she attempted to reverse, but she was trapped, ensnared in the web of the psychopath's relentless pursuit. He emerged from the darkness, a sinister silhouette illuminated by the Mustang's headlights. Lindy's heart pounded in her chest as she reached for her phone, only to find it missing. "You can't escape, Lindy. I'll always find you," his voice echoed, sending a chill down her spine. Desperation fueled her actions as she bolted from the car, running into the woods, seeking refuge amidst the trees. Every rustle of leaves sent shivers down her spine, every snap of a twig a harbinger of imminent danger. Hours passed, and the night enveloped Lindy in its chilling embrace. Alone and afraid, she huddled behind a tree, praying for dawn to break and deliver her from this nightmare. But the dawn brought no relief, as the shadowy figure engulfed the moonlight surrounding her. Later that day, Lindy's lifeless body was found by the roadside, her eyes wide open in a silent scream, a haunting testament to the terror that had consumed her. And the Mustang? It sat parked by the road, an eerie reminder of Lindy's tragic fate, its crimson hue now tainted with the horrors of the psychopath's relentless pursuit. As this tale came to a close, another one chapter of the Mustang's story began to unfold. In a quaint town nestled between rolling hills and a serene river, two brothers, Adam and Ryan, shared an unbreakable bond. Their dream was to own a vintage Mustang, a symbol of their camaraderie and shared aspirations. Pooling their savings, they finally acquired their dream car, a gleaming red Mustang that shimmered like a fiery jewel under the sun. However, their dream turned into a source of conflict as each brother yearned to claim the Mustang for his own adventures. Their desire to drive the Mustang on the same night sparked a feud that festered, poisoning the wellspring of their brotherly love. Arguments ensued, escalating into bitter fights over who would take the car out first. The once unbreakable bond began to crumble under the weight of their shared obsession. One fateful night, their simmering rivalry reached its boiling point. Both brothers, consumed by a sense of entitlement to the Mustang, resorted to a game of chance to determine who would drive it that evening. The game was simple, a coin toss to decide the rightful owner of the car for the night. Tension hung thick in the air as the coin twirled through the moonlit night, the outcome sealing the fate of the brothers and their cherished Mustang. The coin landed with a metallic clink, announcing Ryan as the chosen one for the Mustang that night. Triumph gleamed in Ryan's eyes as he claimed the keys and sped off into the darkness, leaving Adam seething with jealousy and resentment. Hours passed with no sign of Ryan's return. Concern gnawed at Adam's heart, drowning his anger in a pool of worry. Frantic calls to Ryan's phone went unanswered, adding a sinister layer of dread to the already tense atmosphere. As dawn broke, a police car pulled up to the brothers' home, where a chilling discovery awaited Adam. A mangled wreck of the Mustang lay crumpled by the roadside, its once pristine form now a twisted, metallic husk. Horror clawed at Adam's soul as he rushed to the scene, his worst fears crystallizing into a grim reality. Among the wreckage, Ryan's lifeless body lay, a haunting testament to the tragic consequences of their relentless rivalry. The Mustang, their dream-turned nightmare, had become a chariot of demise, tearing apart the very fabric of their brotherhood. Grief-stricken and remorseful, Adam stood amidst the ruins, his tears mingling with the shattered remnants of their once beloved car. The Mustang, once a symbol of shared dreams, now stood as a chilling reminder of the tragic downfall caused by their unrelenting desire to possess it. Once again, as this story concluded, like pages of a book. The next story presented itself to Charlotte, who could not escape the car's book of despair. In the opulent neighborhood where the wealthy and influential resided, there lived a man of considerable means, Charles, who doted on his daughter Kayla. Her every whim was met, her desires fulfilled with the snap of her fingers. Charles sought to gratify Kayla's insatiable appetite for material possessions and grandeur. One day, to appease his entitled daughter's demands, Charles presented her with a brand new Mustang, a crimson symbol of opulence that gleamed under the sun. Kayla's eyes lit up with greed and entitlement as she claimed her prize, a token of her father's affection, or so she believed. Kayla, with her flawless exterior, exuded a charm that masked the darkness within. Beautiful on the outside but harboring a venomous soul, she reveled in belittling others, using her family's wealth and power to assert her dominance. She was a tyrant among her peers, ruling with cruelty and disdain, tormenting those she deemed beneath her. Her victims, subjected to her relentless bullying, suffered silently under the weight of her disdain. One evening at a party, she continued her relentless torment of less socially deprived. She ridiculed some of her victims' clothing, laughed at their shyness, and even pretended to like a boy, just so everyone could laugh at his pain. The laughing ensued constantly on her victims, as if the laughter was all they could hear now. One evening, Kayla was returning from a lavish party in her pristine Mustang. A malicious twist of fate awaited her. Unbeknownst to her, the very victims of her incessant bullying had reached their breaking point, driven to the brink of despair by Kayla's malevolence. Their seething resentment had brewed into a plan for vengeance, a macabre plot born from the scars inflicted by Kayla's cruelty. As she sped through the dimly lit streets in her prized Mustang, the shadows stirred with whispered malevolence. Sudden terror seized Kayla as she realized she was being followed, a sense of foreboding clawing at her heart. Desperate, she attempted to outrun her pursuers, her entitlement crumbling in the face of impending doom. With a sickening lurch, her Mustang screeched to a halt, the engine sputtering into silence. Panic surged within her as she attempted to restart the car, but it remained stubbornly inert, trapping her in the confines of her own arrogance. Footsteps echoed ominously around her, closing in on the vulnerable heiress. The air thickened with an eerie silence, broken only by the sinister whispers of her tormentors turned pursuers. In a chilling spectacle, figures emerged from the darkness, their faces contorted by years of suffering inflicted by Kayla's callousness. Their eyes glinted with a haunting resolve as they encircled the trapped heiress, their vengeance finally within grasp. With chilling precision, they exacted their revenge, their anguished cries merging with Kayla's futile pleas for mercy. The night bore witness to a grotesque spectacle of retribution, a symphony of despair orchestrated by the ghosts of Kayla's past transgressions. When dawn broke, all that remained was a crimson-stained Mustang, a testament to the demise of Kayla, the entitled heiress who had met a chilling end at the hands of those she had wronged. The once gleaming symbol of wealth now stood as a haunting reminder of the price paid for her unbridled arrogance and the horrors wrought by her ugly soul. Voices, echoes of past owners, wailed within the confines of the cabin. Their stories intertwined with the Mustang's tragic timeline, a cascade of accidents, misfortunes, and inexplicable events that befell those who once possessed the car. A chilling realization dawned upon Charlotte. Each owner met an untimely and unfortunate end, an eerie pattern etched into the Mustang's history. Shivers raced down her spine as phantom figures materialized outside the car, their sorrowful gazes fixated upon her. Sam Whitman's spectral form emerged, his expression a haunting mixture of regret and warning. "You've become entwined in its web of tragedy," his ethereal voice echoed, a lament carried by the howling winds. "The car, it carries the weight of the past. It seeks resolution through you." Terror gripped Charlotte's heart as she attempted to escape the looming specters, but the confines of the car seemed an impenetrable barrier to the ghostly apparitions surrounding her. Amidst the tormenting whispers and ghastly apparitions, a glimmer of understanding pierced through the chaos. The Mustang hungered for closure, a release from the cycle of misfortune that haunted its history. Summoning every ounce of courage, Charlotte embraced the echoes of the past, acknowledging the pain etched within the car's timeline. With a trembling voice, she whispered words of empathy and release, offering solace to the tormented souls tethered to the Mustang's tragic legacy. As her words echoed into the night, a serene calm settled upon the surroundings. The ghostly figures slowly dissipated, fading into the darkness with an air of solemn peace. With a profound sense of finality, the Mustang's engine roared back to life, the night suddenly illuminated by a gentle moonlight. A serene stillness enveloped the forest, and Charlotte, now the custodian of the Mustang's history, found a newfound sense of purpose in unraveling its tangled tales.